they're not your friends. But you probably knew that already, because as soon as you saw this video, you probably had someone who came to mind. Maybe it's that guy that laughs a bit too loud or too long when people make jokes about you. Or maybe it's that guy that only hits you up when he needs a favour. Or that person that's never around when you actually need them. I feel like friendship, or the lack of real friendship, is a very big issue in society in general, and especially for people out there who are trying to improve themselves. Because you might have a group of friends that you've known for a long time and you have a lot of experiences with, and a lot of shared memories, that kind of thing. And maybe you're wondering if you're able to get your friends onto self-improvement, or if you're gonna have to just leave them behind. So a simple test is just to ask yourself, are your friends good people? And if you didn't answer yes straight away, then you probably need to watch this video, bro. Because if you're serious about this, you need to ask yourself, what kind of friendship do I want? Like, what do I want in a friend? Like, if you could have an ideal friendship, what would it look like? Because for everyone, that's going to be different. Just because you laugh with each other and share memes on Instagram or whatever, doesn't really mean you're actually friends. Like, just because they pass you the zoot and laugh at your jokes doesn't mean you're friends. Because I know for me, this is something that's quite hard to grasp, because I feel like we all think, having friends and a friendship is kind of similar to what it was like when we were kids. Just someone you can laugh with, share experiences with, and that's about it, right? But really, as you get older, you start to realize that friendship that doesn't really involve, connection, that's just not based on convenience or just the fact we laugh at the same kind of things, is really what's important. Because you realize a lot of the friendships that you've had throughout your life is just very surface level. It's very much just like, we're in the same space and we see each other every day, so we're friends. But you don't actually know much about each other, and you don't really share any deep connection with each other either. Because as I've got older, my standards for friendship has definitely increased. What I used to see a friend when I was younger, now I don't see that as friendship. So if I'm asking myself, is this person fun to be around? Are they cool? Are they nice to me? To now, I'm more focused on questions like, would I let this person around my family? Would I even potentially let this person around my future kids? Like, do I trust them to be there for me when I need them? Because these are the important questions that really test how true and authentic a friendship is. If someone is just there for you to laugh with and share jokes with, but you don't actually trust them to be there for you when you need them, and vice versa, then is that really a friend or just someone you just enjoy the company of? So I think this is something a lot of us struggle with, being able to differentiate what a true friendship is and just someone we just happen to hang out with because we enjoy their company. Because a lot of the time you realise that you're not actually friends with this individual. You're kind of friends with the same activity, whether it's like a substance or, going clubbing, gaming with them, smoking with them, whatever it is. You're kind of more connected based on the activity you share, which of course is fine. But if that is the only bond you have together, that the fact you share this activity together, and other than that there's no connection between the two of you, then I would question if that's a real genuine friendship. So for me personally, I used to have friends when I was back in school that at the time I perceived them as being my true strong friends, when really we were just friends because we went to the same school and we saw each other almost every day. And other than that, we didn't really share any real connection. Like, we didn't really open up to each other. It was very much just surface level, laughing at each other's jokes, playing games with each other after school, and that was kind of it. And for me at the time, I was content with that because I thought that's what friendship was. But as you get older and you start to realise that, it is important who you spend your time with. And it's important who you let into your space. So even like the friends that you play like FIFA or COD with for hours on end every day, do you actually ever talk about anything real with each other? Do you ever actually open up to each other and lean on each other for advice, lean on each other for help, or even just actually genuinely ask each other how you doing, like how you actually doing, not just, oh, how was school today? Is everything alright? Cool, let's just play. Because I feel like that is the big difference between just a friendship via convenience and true friendship where you actually care about each other and you want the best for each other. Like for me, I used to have friends that I used to game with for hours on end, and of course it was fun, it was great times, great memories, but outside of the gaming sessions, as soon as I turned the PlayStation off, that was the end of our communication. There was no basically real connection. It was just, we're both enjoying each other's company because we're addicted to the same thing. We're both gamers playing for hours on end, so we're just sharing that experience rather than sharing a genuine connection. And I feel like this is something a lot of guys understand friendship to be, just someone you share your addictions with, like someone else to wallow in escapism with. And of course, it's fine to have, fun friends, like friends you can just do certain activities with. But it's really important for your core group of friends to be people you actually value and people that value you and people that you can actually share genuine experiences with and people that actually care about your well-being. So I'm not saying, you can't have friends that are just kind of surface level, but these can't be your main friends. These can't be the people that you look to when times are hard or the people that you rely on, because they simply can't do it. Like having friends that you only meet when you're like going to go smoke a zoo or something, like for me, that's not real friendship. So people that I used to just know just because we used to smoke together, and outside of that, we just don't talk. It made me realize that you're not actually my friend, are you? We're just sharing drugs together, basically, and having a little chat while we do it. And for me, that's not really the kind of friendship I want. I want something with a lot more depth and, something that I can actually see and, something that, a friendship that I will actually find useful in the long term. Because I'm getting to an age where realistically, I don't really have time to waste for just short-term friendships that don't mean anything to me. So for me, a big sign that someone isn't actually your friend and is merely just someone you share, an addiction with, is without the activity or the substance, whatever it is, would they be there for you? Like, would they be there for you? Like, are they available for you to speak to on like a deeper level? Or are they just there for entertainment? So can you confide in them? Like, do you feel seen and heard when you have a conversation with them? Or are you just sharing in small talk between your game sessions? And are all your conversations just humor based? Like, are all the conversations you have just, to get to a laugh or get to a joke? Is there any like depth in your conversations? Because if there aren't like if it's hardly any like actual meaning to your conversations, it's a big sign that this is someone who you just share an addiction with rather than a genuine connection. Because if I'm being honest, it is hard to maintain friendships in today's society. It's a fact. Everyone is very individualistic. Everyone's very busy. Everyone has their own stuff going on. So, wasting your time trying to make a genuine relationship out of someone who isn't looking for that is just a waste of time. And of course, when you start bettering yourself, you will attract better people. That's something I've definitely seen. And not only will you attract better people, the high quality individuals that are in your life already, your bonds will become a lot stronger. And the people that were kind of just in your life for a little period, those friendships will slowly deteriorate. And you have to make peace with that. Because even though you may feel left out and lonely at the moment, you have to realize that not all, your time is valuable. So understanding that you don't have to waste your time feeling like you're being left out of something that doesn't really have any meaning or purpose in the first place. There's always going to be another party. There's always going to be another event. There's always going to be another birthday. It's not that deep. Because when you're on this journey of, working on yourself, a lot of people will find it uncomfortable to be around you. I've noticed it myself. There's people now that have distanced themselves away from me simply because they've realized they're not on the same path as me. And I'm actually very thankful they've done that. Because we both just stopped wasting our time on a relationship that isn't going anywhere. Because I know there's a saying that, you're the average of the 5 people you hang around the most. So if the people you're hanging around a lot are people that you wouldn't even see as good, genuine people, then that probably just makes you one of them as well, regardless of how you view yourself. So of course, it's important to maintain the relationships you do have, but you need to evaluate if these relationships are worth holding on to. Because the truth is, this is something I've had to do myself. I've had to evaluate my relationships with people that I've known for a long time. And it's hard making that decision, but at the end of the day, you have to choose if you want to let these relationships drag you down, or if you want to distance yourself from these people and work on yourself. I'm not saying, just to go be a lone wolf and just isolate yourself, because I've done that and I can tell you it's not a good idea. Like being a loner and just, isolating yourself from everyone is a horrible existence to live. And it's not as rewarding as it seems. Like, being the lone wolf and just working on yourself and not having any time for friends or family, people you care about, is not as glamorous as it sounds. It is pretty shit, if I'm being honest. So I'm not saying to do that. But what I'm saying is that if it does take you having a period of isolation where you have to distance yourself from toxic relationships that aren't, improving your life, that aren't taking you anywhere, then you have to do that. Because the truth is, these friends that you have, they're going to choose themselves over you every single time. They are. It's a fact. So you shouldn't feel guilty for choosing yourself. Because at the end of the day, all you do have is yourself. So you need to choose your friends carefully, because being lonely is very difficult, but it's way better than being around people who are driving you down and are holding you down and making sure you stay on their level. Because at the end of the day, the only choice you have is to abandon these toxic friends or abandon yourself. For me, that's the easy choice. Alright, peace.